Hi. How are we doing? How are we feeling with everything? Everything. So much is happening. I recorded a video yesterday and I didn't charge my phone, and so it cut off about 15 minutes in. I will still upload it, and I will probably just do a voiceover at the end to bring us back home. And so I was actually getting my yogurt and blueberries ready today, and Spirit said, do this before you eat. So here we are. Sharing the visions that I've seen the last couple of days. I wrote about the Ark of the Covenant. I'll be posting that one. I wrote about home, just being the presence of all that is, coming to life with all that is, the breath, fanning the flame within ourselves, and then like the incomingness. It's imminent, it's here, it's happening. We are getting just waylaid, swirling the soup of all of it, and we are feeling it. And so if you're just starting your journey, be gracious with yourself, and please be mindful of the emotions that are coming out. It is your pain that you have suppressed. That's it. That's all it is. We were not taught any of this. And so most of the time we just put ourselves back in cycles of suffering, and then we do it to others because we're angry, we're frustrated, we don't know how. There's no blame or shame in this space, but it is about taking accountability and taking responsibility and really organizing and getting our lives back in order with the utmost reverence and love in the divine union. Because that is what we are here for. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you, but you keep yourself in pain and suffering if you choose not to. So like I said, there's no harm, no foul, no blame, no shame. It is what it is. It's just your decision to make time to do this work so that you can set yourself free from pain that you're harboring, emotions that you're harboring, because they will ruminate and swirl within you. And because of that, let's just use guilt and shame, because a lot of people are now waking up, and those are the first rungs that you're attached to. So if you have held guilt and shame in your body, in your vessel for so long, the question would be, who would you be without this? Please write this down so that you can take time and go journal or write a little bit. And then two, realizing how that guilt, it almost as if we're not aware of it, and it's just, like I said, swirling in here, you possess guilt. And so then we act out on behaviors that either make us feel guilty, or people come into our awareness with trying to make us feel guilty, or they're showing us the guilt that we hold. So just be aware of that. And you might have to rewind that and sit with those questions, I understand, or to sit with those expressions, if you will. So we're releasing the guilt and the shame. And by doing so, there is no fear in this. I think a lot of times too, is the vision that I was given is like, if I held out my hand to you and I said, my beautiful child, let go of what you're holding. Let go of it. Our mind will take us to a moment of getting in trouble, or I'm going to be found guilty for this. I'm going to be judged for this. I'm going to be ridiculed for this. And so then we don't want to, and we hide it. And the offering, really, in your own space, you don't need me to do it. I'm just trying to explain it and provide space for us to go there with one another. You know you're supported. If you don't feel like you're supported, I would ask that you sit with the thought process of support and bear witness to those around you who make you feel supported, or the reality of your truth that maybe you are supported, you are here in a supporting relationships with your friends, but because you're stuck in a past situation that didn't allow you to feel support, and you're playing kind of tug of war with that version of you. And the invitation is just to remember that version of you in the past, look towards them and be like, we're not in that situation any longer. We're right here, right now. Or if If you are in a situation that is similar to your past, because a lot of times we do that to ourselves, we cycle through emotional experiences until we're just like ready to break free from it. You will, that would be where the offering is to take a big leap of faith and to say, okay, if I don't feel safe, if I don't feel loved, if I don't feel supported, if I don't feel protected, if I don't feel all of these things, what would be the next step? Where can I go from here? And when we start opening those boxes and asking those questions, it's essentially as if you just open the door, and all of the experiences and all of the realities and all of the people that come in to then give that to you, give you the space, the messengers, the angels, they're always there, but a lot of times we don't see them. And then a lot of times we're so scared of taking that leap of faith. I've been there. I have been there. We're scared of taking that leap of faith so that we actually make excuses for ourselves to stay. Well, I'm actually comfortable here, so maybe I don't want to go do that. And I promise you that doing that is where it's at. It just is. I need to make a t-shirt for that. Anyway, so yeah, there is a lot. Everything that you're feeling right now, feeling is the extraterrestrial. Feeling is what has been so far removed from us. But in the grand scheme of things, the polarization of the rainbow effect of all that is, and every single person that stands in the spectrum of light, all serves a purpose for the greater good. And as we systematically begin to kind of like snap out of it, essentially, when we're asleep and we're conditioned to all work, no play, more hustle, more all the things, more, and we snap out of it and we actually see the reality for what it is, and you can breathe again, and then you can make conscious decisions, aware decisions to reorganize your life and kind of get your life back in order. Everything really does start happening at the speed of light, because we are in the presence of the divine as we speak, as we sit here together. So I'm wondering if there's anything else that needs to be spoken. You're right where you need to be. You are right where you need to be. Because we always get what we need, not what we want. And if we are aware of the messages, the messengers in the plant kingdom, in the animal kingdom, in the human form, every human that comes into your reality is showing you a version of you, good or bad. And when I say good or bad, it doesn't mean what we perceive as bad. It just means the pain that we hold. Most of the time, somebody can come into our reality and have the same story of the pain, so that we can see, is it time for me to unhook from this? And by hearing their story, we realize, wow, I've been harboring this for a long time. I can let it go. Or sing your praises because you have let it go, and now you can relate to them without it causing pain and discomfort in your body. And what I mean by that is, just bear witness to this week when you're out and about, and if you have conversations, and if anybody says anything, or if you see something here or anything up on that thing right there, if you see something that triggers you, it triggers an emotional response in your body. The trigger point is the key. Please listen and stay in tuned with me. The trigger point is the key to then say, why does this trigger me? What storyline is the trigger point? Once you breathe into it, you can dive into you, into me, intimacy, into me I see. You see the version of you that went through the pain. And I have several of these meditations on my YouTube channel. I would invite you to go check some of those out. I will link one of them below, but I will also guide you through one here in just a moment. And you basically just remember them, offer the space for them to look up and meet you eye to eye, and then come home. Come home with me. That's it. And we do that. We do that until all of our pain and suffering, all of our shame, our guilt, our worry, our doubt, our self-condemnation, our hate, our separation, our judgment, our self-ridicule, our not feeling worthy enough, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you can make a change because you are going to be judged. All of those things are the shadow aspect of the real reality. And so when you can just turn the light onto that and you realize this is not a big deal. I have already been through the physical situation. You've already lived through it. Okay? So now the emotional part of it is going back in and really spending time, delicate, loving, nurturing time with the version of you that went through it. Because most of the time we go through a traumatic experience and then we just keep on keeping on. And it's almost as if you've seen the video. What's coming to mind is if like you have your shadow face down in the dirt and you're just holding them and just dragging them along, and you're just dragging them along everywhere. And it's almost like figure out where that shadow of you is, that pain, that heartbreak, that doubt, that maybe it was a version of you that went through something awful as a child. Remember them. Remember me. Do this in the remembrance of me. And so when you remember that version of you, pick them up and give them some love and write them a letter. And I know we've heard a lot about this in songs and in different things, but it's resonating with you. The resonant sounds of what you're hearing is speaking to your soul. And there's nothing to it but to do it. Just do the dang thing. That's it. And so really, your mind, once again, your mind will say, I don't have time. I don't have money. I have so many things to do. And now I have to go here. And then look at this spelled. Now I have less time. In reality, it's shaking so much. It's like the ping pong balls that's going on within you. It's shaking so much to get your attention. Just to say, now's the time. Now is the time. And I understand if you are running late to a meeting or something like that, but even then I would offer the space of if you're actually putting yourself first and honoring the spaces that are you. Most of the time people will understand if they're not in that taking care, that caretaker of our soul's remembrance, they might be like, how dare her? They might throw some shade, but that's also an awareness of, wow, they can't meet me in the space of truly taking care of themselves. And so maybe that is another message for me to move on or to do something different or to find more support systems because we're out there, we're there. And so, yeah, I would just invite you in this moment to take a breath with me. Everything that we're talking about, I would ask that you recall a memory that has been plaguing you, that you've been harboring, that you know is surfacing, and it has been resurfacing. Recall an emotion that you've been working with this week. Everything that's coming to mind for you, the first intuitive nudges are your guides. And then in this now moment, I would ask with the inner knowing that the spaces that you are going are cleared. It's just you going back. I would invite you to visit the place where you lie. And just spend some time with them. Take all the time you need. Maybe you do write them a letter, but the ultimate goal, the final destination is for you to find them where they are, to love them and hold them and hug them, to bear witness to them, to look them in the eyes and say, come home. It's time to come home. And if you can go in and drop into the inner recesses of you, you have that power. You might not believe that you do, but we all do. This is an innate gift. You will allow yourself to exit that reality that is in the past, which does not exist. You are tied to it because you have not unhooked from it. That is why it continues to haunt you. That is why the situations that you are in continue to show you you are still attached to that space. That is all it is. That is it. The bravery and the courage is to do this work. You can be afraid and do it anyway. You can have excuses and do it anyway. You can have all of the self-doubt and do it anyway. And each time you do, you gain more bravery, you gain more courage, you gain more insight, you gain more wisdom, you gain more of you over and over again until that pillar is the tree of life. You are the shining star, and the cap of the recognition is you. It is us. Receive it with love. I receive with love. I receive with a wide open vessel. I receive. I am. And so I will close this out with the vision that I had seen right after I got home from, I actually tried to go to my credit union and they switched locations. And so it was kind of a beautiful moment of, okay, perfect. Like it's tomorrow. Go home and be present, but also sitting with what that meant. Like when one door closes, another one opens. And the closing of the old, the closing of who I once was, the closing of all of the closing of the shadow and letting the shadow completely like turn the light on inside to be the radiant essence. And I will create another video because I know there's a lot of misinterpretation on what the shadow is. I touched on it a couple times, but that's for another video. And so when we look at our pain body eye to eye with the version of us that's right here, we look at our shadow, we stand them up and say, you are a part of me and I love you. I see you, I honor you, I love you with the most respect and the most reverence because you have been through it all. We have been through it all, but now we are more aligned, we're more in tune than ever before. And now we have the power to make conscious decisions moving forward. We can feel every rhythmic move of people that enter our space, and we can allow ourselves to make aligned choices without fear. We've even sat with fear. So, and if you haven't, that would be something that I would invite you to do. And I know that one's probably a latter part of the journey. I am for this month. This is the month of November. My birthday is this month, and I am fully receiving, and I know it. I know it. I feel it. I am it. It is. But I was to finish the story. You gotta love my squirrel brain. I was getting out of my car, and I saw what looked like a comet ball of light, just like heading right at me, and I just stood in the wake of the sun, and I said, I am open to receive. I am open to receive. And I just took a breath. And I'm ready. I'm ready. And I think for the longest time, I always had this, this is a real moment. I always had this vision of this meant death. And I always I even wrote letters to people. I reached out to people because I'm like, if I die tomorrow, what would I want to say? What would I want to do? How would I act differently? So I kind of began to basically tailor my decisions around that. And then I just spoke with Kelly the other day, like, I'm not afraid to die anymore. I'm not afraid. And if this is what that means, the death of me means the rebirth in you, in the divine, I'm fully on board. I am fully, fully, fully on board. And I didn't expect that. But yeah, and all the things. No doubt about it. Beverly Hillbillies. I don't know why that's coming to mind, but maybe for one of you it will click in. So I'm going to close out this space here. I'm going to go enjoy my yogurt with blueberries and raspberries. And I would invite you to eat lighter foods, drink lots of water, get outside. It's gorgeous today here in Missouri. I'm going to go clean out I'm going to trim all the not the weeds, but trim all of the garden vegetables that have now frozen, and they're ready to be removed. And I'm excited for that. And I'll rake up my leaves and plant those, put those in my raised beds to give some more nutrients. So it's a beautiful process. I've been working on my garden for about 3 years, and I am so excited because the abundance has been a real, and I am open to receive. If this is something that is hitting home and you would like to dive deeper and you would like a more tailored experience to what is yours, and you need some guidance and a helping hand to go into these spaces that maybe you're afraid to go into, I am offering my services, one-on-one and group services this month for donation-based, all donation-based. So we take that out of the equation, pay what you want, sit with what the session even feels for you and what it means for you. And even if something where you want to come try it out and you don't want to pay until after you're finished, and you pay what the experience meant for you or what you can. I'm honored to be able to do this, and I've been feeling that calling for a while. And quite honestly, I have gotten 4 people scheduled just in this last week because of it. So it is a blessing, because where 2 or more gather, we move mountains. And when we remove the mountain that is causing you the most turmoil right now, the path becomes very, very clear. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, miraculous blessing. And I'm honored to be here and to be of service and to be providing these spaces for you. So I am Jennifer Renee. This is Within by Jen. It's within you. It always has been. Welcome to new you, new life, new opportunities, new abundance, new prosperity, new wealth, new success, new everything, because we're basking in it. And if that makes you cringe, then there's some work to do, and that's all that it is. So I love you very much, and it would be an honor to share space with you. I'll see you all in the next video. Mwah.